So you will have something like condition here. Um, just a minute. You will see something like that. Switch will have one particular condition, and within condition you will see some cases and cases. So whenever, so there will be one more thing called default. So if none of the case matches, a default will be executed. So this is how the simple syntax for a switch looks like. And this is also not required. So switch, what will have, suppose let's say a simple calculator program. Let's say for now it's a basic calculator. It will have only 4 operations possible: one, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So in this case, what we are going to do here, we will provide condition. So hey, I want to perform a subtraction on 2 numbers. So what will happen? So wherever this condition matches this condition, so it will straight away execute this condition and exit out of this particular switch statement. Okay, it will not check for other conditions until it is not broken here. So we have to mention, hey, stop after executing this. That is called something break statement we will be adding. So suppose if you want to do some actions here, which there could be possibly these are the outcomes you are going to get. These are the outcomes you are going to get possibly. So that is when you will be using this particular switch statement. So in a calculator, you will be doing multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So suppose what happens, what is the benefit? So when you write an if else, so what happens? It will start checking all the conditions. If, then else if, then else if, then else if, then follow. In the end, nothing matches else. So here it is even faster. Suppose whatever condition, if any of that matches, so wherever it matches, only there it will go and execute. If nothing matches, if something has to be provided as a default, then we will have something called default block. So the syntax looks something like this. So we will see one sample example. I have it here. So here if you see here, the case here, I've told you like multiplication, multiplication. So let's say be it mul only. So what does this means? So let's say a sample scenario. What is happening when you run this? So what will happen? How does the switch works? So here, this is the condition you have provided, and this case 1 will hold the data mul. This is what is coming here. In case 1, you will see mul. Okay, so of case 1, let me know operation. Let's do this way, operation. Okay, in this operation you can put it here. Okay, what happens if this condition, this operation is multiplication. Operation will hold multiplication data. Wherever this operation is matching, in these cases, there are 2 cases. If you see, for now we will have only 2 cases. There is one case addition, there is multiplication. Let's say there are 2 cases. So it will come inside switch. What happens inside the switch scope? What happens? We have written 2 cases. Switch will switch between any of the cases. Okay, what happens? It will start looking for this, whether mul is equals to add. No, it does not match, so it will not execute this particular case. And one more thing, it will straight away look for wherever it is matching. Okay, it is matching here. Then what happens? It starts executing from here then it will move to next case if needed. So if you provide break statement, it will come out of the switch loop. If no break statement is provided, it will start continue executing the other cases. If in if else, what happens? If any of that execute, suppose maybe conditions here, in if and else, suppose if in gender is equals to male, or gender is equals to female, or gender is equals to transgender, you have no control. Suppose if gender is equals to male, suppose you still want to execute this particular block, else if block, for some reason that cannot be done in case of this particular if else scenarios. Suppose I have executed if block and I still want to execute some other blocks, that is not possible. Okay, it can execute only if block or else block or any of the else if block. Other blocks cannot be executed. Only one block will be executed at a time. Whereas in case of switch, suppose if you don't provide any break, so I have not provided any break condition here, what will happen? So here in this scenario, what would happen is the switch condition, let's say, is matching with this particular case one. Then what happens? It will not stop executing after case one because we have not mentioned any break statement. It will also execute the case two. Then it will break because you have mentioned break statement. From wherever the case is matching, from there onwards, below cases will be executed. It is not like above cases. From this case, so suppose it will execute in this particular order only. From wherever it matches, it will start executing. Let's see, write a program to print a day in a week. Okay, day in a week, and from that day onwards. So my simple my week look like this: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, you all know those. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When I give an, so Monday is considered as one, day in a week is one, Tuesday is considered as two, Wednesday is considered as three, remaining all four, 5, 6, 7. So these are all the days. So suppose if user gives an input saying 6, what should happen? From 6 onwards up to the end of the week, up to Sunday, week has 7 days, up to the end of week, everything should be printed. So when user gives an input of 6, Saturday and Sunday should be printed. Let's say when user gives 5, Friday, Saturday, Sunday should be printed. When user gives 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, everything should be printed. So in such cases, switch statement will be useful for us. Okay, when you execute one condition and after that remaining condition has to be executed, in such cases we can use this particular switch statement. So we will see our condition is day here. Condition is day. Based on the day, we are going to write something like this, day. So then we have to write something here. Here you have to match one. So you have to provide the condition like this. Okay, something is wrong. Okay. Okay. That is why I'm facing some issue. Okay. Now when you the day is just Okay. My bad, guys. Just remember. So first day will be Monday here. So I'm just printing Monday. So second day, let me see. Let me print 3-letter word. So what I am trying to do, so this there are 7 possible inputs which user could give. 7 possible inputs which user could give. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we are going to write something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So we can also have one more default condition, which is so the program says whenever user enters some number, maybe 4, so output should be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. From there onwards, remaining end of the day, all the days should be printed. Okay. Let's run it. Now I'm just giving it as 4. Let's see what happens in the debug. Let's put it in the debug. So what happens, this is how internally things happens. So switch when it runs, so when I next execute it, it straight away went to case 4. If you look, in case of if else, it will go to each and every condition. Okay, but here it straight away went to case 4. Wherever the case 4 is matching, it straight away went to that. So this ignored all these above cases. Okay, then let's see what is happening. So in case 4, what action did I ask it to do? I have asked it to print Thursday. So then what happens? If you see, from case 4 onwards, we have not mentioned any break statement. No breaks. So break statement means it will exit that particular condition. So switch. So switch statement, if we want to exit out of the switch, so we have to add a break. Suppose after running case 5, I want to stop my code. It should not continue for the further cases. Then I have to add a break here. Okay. Currently, we are not adding. So now let me go to next time. So let's see what happened. From case 4 onwards, each and every case it is going to get executed. So here, so case 5 got executed. Then case 6 we have added. Case 6 got executed. Then case 7 we have added. Case 7 got executed. Then default got executed. So default is your choice. Okay, it is optional. So now if you see the console, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and incorrect day input. So we are not expecting this. So what we can do, we can just put it on the top. There is no fixed position for default, like you have to put the default on the first or second. It can be any row. Okay, so now let me rerun it for you. So now default not executed, okay, because wherever it is matching, it is going to straight away to that particular case. In switch, what happens? It will start looking. This is the condition. So here day 4. So day is equals to, I've given 4. In this day, we are holding something integer value. So my case should also contain integer type of value. Okay. So what is happening here? 1 not matched, 2 not matched, 3 not matched, 4 not matched. So default, if it is on the top, it will also not get executed. So then what's happening? Then from case 4 onwards till end of the thing, it will start executing. So if I start running this, so if you see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these are the 4 days which got printed. Suppose if I give something wrong, so suppose if you want to just add a break statement, let's see the output. For the same output, if I add break statement, you will just see for Thursday, it will print for number 4 as an input. It will start printing Thursday and it will come out of that particular loop. So here 4 is the input given. So here it will start going and matching for this particular case 4. So when I next execute, it entered this particular case. Then if you see, it executed break. Break means stop executing, come out of this particular loop. So it just came out of this particular loop. And if you check the console, only Thursday will get printed. So it is your choice where you want to give the break statement, if needed or not. That is user who is going to do that particular thing. Okay. So break, it is user's choice. For now, my program says, hey, I want to print when the number gives. So I want to print from that day onwards until rest of the days. And I also want to do something. If any of these numbers does not match, I want to add. So suppose any of the numbers not matching, if possible input could be 1 to 7. If none of the numbers matches, I want to exit out of that. So what I will do, if none of the condition matches, so we have 7 cases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have written that. If none of the condition matches, what will happen? It will enter this default statement and it will say incorrect day input and it will exit that. So let's run it and see. So this is, so why it is printing incorrect day input? I have given 9. So 9 is not part of the expected range. For 9, you have not written any case. So that is why we are not able to see. So when I give for 0, 0 also not part of the range. So let's say from 1. If I provide 1 as input, it means I am asking the computer to print from Monday onwards, all the remaining days, end of the week, I'm asking it to print. So what is happening when switch case enters, when this condition matches, day 1 matches, it'll start looking. It will start matching for this particular case because we already have a case for it. From there onwards, it will start executing each and every case further down. If there is no break statement, up to break statement or till end of this particular switch case, everything will be executed and it will exit out of this particular switch case. See, we have got the report. So this is what we are expecting. So default, you can put it in any place. Okay, no harm. Suppose if you put default here, what would have happened? Suppose if I put default here, my program will work in the other way. So it will execute first case, then it will execute the default case, then it will, because default has a break statement, it will come out saying printing only Monday alone. My input is 1. For 1, what happens? Switch case will go to case 1, then it will execute this, no break statement found, then it will execute the next one also. Be it default or be it case 3, anything. Next statement it will automatically get into and it will say incorrect input, and because the break statement has something break, so this default has a break statement. So break will come, pull your code out of this particular switch loop and exit the code. So see, So it is user's choice where the default can be placed. Okay. Here in my case, this would be an apt place to. So let me save this. Similarly, we can do some this thing. Some calculator program we will try to see. Here, let me do something. A simple calculator, not very complex. Switch calculator. We will have a main method. So we will do something. We will have int a. Int a is equals to 10. Int b is equals to 5. Now our calculator is even more dumb. So we will try to have only two numbers. Sorry, two possible operations, addition and subtraction. Okay. So string operation is equals to I'm giving add. For now, I'll try to add and print that output. So switch case, everything in lower. Then we have to write our condition. Operation will decide what operation has to be performed. Okay, whether I provide multiplication, addition, subtraction. For now, we are just giving add. So this condition will come and sit here. So then we have to write our cases. Case. Let me write a case add. Then what I'm going to do is out. I want to add a and then b. So for that, what I'm going to do, a plus b. This is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to print it. So in case if I want to do some subtraction, let me write case sub subtraction. So a minus b. So these are the two possible calculator is doing. So we are going to define. Okay. Here we have two numbers given as an input. Now we are trying to perform some operations here. Okay, what are the operations? One is addition, one is subtraction. The calculator has taken two inputs, and the third input will be whether you have to add two numbers or subtract two numbers. I've told for now add two numbers. So operation will have add data. So it is saying, hey, you want to do addition. So what is happening in this case? It is going to this particular case. So it will run and it will come out. So if what happens, suppose if here I'm not provided break statement, ideally it is required. So no one expects calculator to perform addition as well as subtraction together. No, so that is not required. So in this case, I'm going to add break statements. So after adding two numbers, just come out of the loop. I don't want you to perform any other operations. Okay. So then whenever you're doing subtraction, so subtract two numbers and come out of the loop, print it and come out. Okay. So we don't want to perform any other operations. We don't want to continue each operations together here. So that is why I've used break statement. So let me run. So because we have asked it to add, so 10 and 5, we were trying to add it. So this becomes a plus b. Suppose now if I ask it to subtract sub, so the output should be something like 10 minus 5 because we are adding 10 and then minus 5. So we have got the output 5. So now let's say we are doing something wrong, SCB. Instead of doing SUB, I am written SCB by mistake. So we are not getting any error message. Suppose I want an error message saying, hey, the given input is incorrect. So I have to mention it explicitly. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a default block. In default block, what I will be doing, in correct operation type. So here we are just clearly defined. Hey, I'm not understood what operation you are trying to perform. So when user says, hey, I'm providing an input of SEB, perform some operations. Calculator is not able to understand what SEB means to it. So it says, hey, incorrect operation. Suppose now my calculator has been updated. We are trying to do something. We're trying to add something multiplication now. Multiplication. So now let's do something. A into B. So we are trying to multiply A into B. Then I will end this. After multiplication, I don't want it to continue further. That is enough. That is the given task. So again, because the input provided is correct, incorrect. So let me MUL. So we have got 10 into 5, 50. So this is, so using the switch, so you have control. Okay, now let me remove this break statement in each of them. Now let's add something like this. We will see what is going to be there. So what happens, first addition will happen, then subtraction has happened, then multiplication has happened, then default statement also got executed. It is your choice. Based on the requirement, you are going to decide whether to have break statement or not. In the previous program in switch, what we have seen, we have seen no break statement. The program says, hey, if I provide the day in a week, from that day onwards till end of the day, all the days in a week has to be printed. 3 represents Wednesday. Suppose if a user gives 3, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everything has to be printed. So that is why we have not added from, so not in just 3, in all the cases we have not added any break statement. Okay, and for default we have added break. Okay, if some user deliberately gives something wrong, you have to tell him, hey, it is wrong input, and then exit out of the loop. Okay, we don't want to print everything for a wrong input. That is why I've added break. Likewise, in calculator, after addition, we don't want the numbers to be get subtracted. We just want to see the output of adding 2 numbers. Okay, and in case of multiplication also same thing. So let's see, we will add, now the calculator is even more updated. We will see for division. For division, we will write one more case. So now see, it throws us an error saying duplicate case. Okay, we will write for division now. So we will divide 2 numbers and we will print it. Sorry, here we have something division. Let me run the division scenario now. So 10 divided by 5, 2. So this is how this calculator program is going to work. So this summarizes, means to call out. So first, what you are going to have. So, and one more thing, I just want to highlight. So here you cannot have integer type of data. Here you cannot have case 1. Okay, here you should have string type of data. Here in switch block you have used operation. Operation is of string data type. So here operation is of string data type. Cases should be also of string data type. That is why I've used string here, add. Whereas in this condition, if you see here, day is of integer data type. Day is of integer data type. So our cases will also have integer type of cases, means case with something like integer data. You cannot have string data here. Okay, you can only have integer type of data here. So that's what you can see. So this data type in the case should match with this data type in the switch. That's what I mean to conclude. So the data type in this particular switch condition should match with the data type in this particular case. So then it will try to look for that particular which case has matched. From there onwards, all the below cases will be executed. If none of the cases matches, default block if present. So default block is not mandatory block. Okay, you can remove the default block and still execute the program. It works. So it still works. Okay, but default block, suppose if I do something div2, something wrong input I've mentioned, still it will execute. No output will be generated. Okay, default block is an optional one. Okay, you cannot, it's not like mandatory. So the break statement is an optional. Based on the program, you are going to add your break statements. So the one more thing, so the switch will have something condition, and cases will try to match those particular conditions data type, and you will write multiple cases based on the requirement. Okay, you in this case you will be knowing what all the possible inputs you are going to get. For those possible inputs you will be writing the cases, and your possible inputs, for each possible inputs you will write the case valid possible inputs. Okay, for anything which is not valid, we will default block will be there, and default block will get executed. And here the position of this also doesn't matter. Okay, you can put default anywhere here also. It is not necessary that you put in the top or bottom. Anything based on your requirement, you can put it anywhere. So when break is there, the default position will not get affected. So the output will remain still the same. So I'm dividing 10 by 5 with 10, and now you will see. So you will see this output too. So the rules to obey when you're writing a switch case is that data type between the condition and the cases should match. Switch will have multiple cases. This is greater advantage over if else block. So suppose I can write like if condition is equals to add, then if condition is equals to subtract, if condition is equals to, then that is also possible, but this has more faster capability to match with the cases. Okay, and this will be more advantage when you are trying to run multiple cases. From wherever matched, from there onwards, multiple cases if you want to run, then switch will be preferred instead of if else. Okay, so this is all about switch cases. If you have any doubts, let me know.